Hello folks, this is Sullla once again. Welcome to another video for League of Legends. This one's going to be featuring a jungle Kayn. So this is taken from a draft pick normal mode game, as most of my recent games have been. In this game, playing alongside me are Mythrodori, who likes to go by Myth, as he's explained. You might remember Myth because he was the subject of another video that I did recently and put up on League of Legends. He is going to be playing in mid for us in this game, and also playing with me in this game is Gallios, who's going to be playing as a AD Ezreal, basically. And so we're going to be in the bottom lane. We're going to have an Ezreal Sona pairing down here in the bottom lane, and then Myth is going to be playing Lux for us in mid lane. But I'm actually not going to focus on any of the three of us in this game, and I'm going to use this video to focus on jungle Kayn. This is a random player that we ended up rolling for our game, Treetop Raspberry. We don't know this player, but this was a good game to talk about Kayn and talk a little bit more about the jungle in general, which I haven't talked as much about in these videos, just because, well, you'll see. We ended up having a lot of focus on the dragons in this game, so it's a great chance just both to talk about jungle Kayn, which is quite popular at the moment, and also a chance to talk about the dragons and kind of what they do and the effects of stacking dragons. So just to round things out, we also have a random Teemo player in top lane who's going by the name, yeah, I'm not going to go with that, but we have a random Teemo player in top lane playing as Panda Teemo. Then on the other team, just to give you the lineups here, we have a Camille player in top lane. We have on their side a jungle Zac. They have in mid a Cassiopeia player, and then their bottom lane is Jhin Soraka for the matchups. Now, this being a draft pick normal mode game, you get some kind of interesting matchups as far as how things set up. Everyone doesn't necessarily come at the same skill level, and this game was very much an example of that. So just to give you an example of kind of the disparities in skill level in this game, the Cassiopeia player that Myth was up against was Diamond rated. I don't remember exactly where. I think it was like Diamond 3 or Diamond 4. And the Camille player was not even level 30 in this game. So I don't know if they were duo queuing together or just matchmaking was being weird, but you know, you just have to keep that in mind. Their Cassiopeia player was rated much higher than the rest of their team, and their bottom lane also was rated higher than the rest of the team. I believe they had a high gold and a platinum player in their bottom lane. So just kind of keep that in mind in terms of how things go. We kind of had the hardest laning matchups. Anyway, though, as I said, I wanted to focus on jungle Kayn, and our jungle Kayn player ended up taking a really aggressive starting path. He started at the enemy team's Raptor camp and then went to the enemy team's red buff. So it was very lucky for us that no one on the enemy team was watching the jungle, so he was able to sneak in and get there, and then their jungle Zac's like, oh, yeah, my Raptors are gone, and there's no camp for me to do. And if he had gone to his red, he would have seen the red was also gone as well. So an aggressive path, but it worked out. I actually think the Kayn player should have finished doing the, what's this one called again? It used to be double golems. The Krugs, that's what it's called now. I think he should have finished doing that camp because that would have gotten him level 3. Instead he's like level 2 and like 90% of the way to level 3. And as a result, he can't really fight for this Scuttle Crab, which they're going to grab. Okay, so let's talk about jungle Kayn a little bit. There's not too much action early on in this game, so let's talk about jungle Kayn in a minute. Kayn is kind of the flavor of the month right now in terms of junglers. He's quite popular at the moment. I'm not sure that's going to last long term as far as jungling goes, but like I said, quite popular. You see him a lot in solo queue. I think he works a little bit better in solo queue than he does in a coordinated ranked teams 5 environment right now. He's popular because he can do some really unusual gank paths with the way that his E works, his shadow step, which I'll talk more about in a minute. But basically Kayn can walk through walls, and that allows him to do some unusual stuff. By the way, right there you saw 2 kills. You saw me dying in bottom lane. I'm not going to go back to re-show it, but played it really poorly and just got blown up by Jhin. And then our Teemo also claimed first blood up in top lane. So this puts us immediately behind in bottom lane, and it's going to take us a very long time to recover from that. So yeah, Kayn, he's a physical damage champ. Deals, you know, has right there you see his ability to walk through walls. So, you know, just kind of a popular champ because of the way he can gank in unusual ways by running through different walls. All right, so let's try to run through his abilities right now. Our Kayn player is just kind of doing a standard clear now. After his kind of weird early game path, now he's back to kind of a standard clear blue and then run down to red and clear all the camps along the way. Oh, we should watch this first. Let's see if Myth can get out of this. So Camille's going to come down from top as Camille goes after him, and it looks like he was able to escape that and even get some damage. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. That looks like he's okay. Alright, so Kayn, first of all, I should mention his passive. There's a nice smite there to get some health back. Kayn's passive is he will eventually transform into one of 2 different things, either Darken Kayn or the Shadow Assassin form of Kayn. I think these are usually referred to as Red Kayn and Blue Kayn. In practice, like 90% of the time, you will see Kayn go with the red path, the darkened path, the one that's theoretically better at fighting melee enemies, but in practice is usually better at fighting everything. So you can see basically the Shadow Assassin means that you deal bonus damage, but the darkened version means that you heal for a percentage of damage dealt, and in most cases that's better. So you usually, almost always, see people going with the red Kayn route. Due to the way his W works, you also usually want the red Kayn or darkened version because it has a knock-up, and that's frankly just better, because Kayn does not have much in the way of crowd control, and this actually gives him some crowd control on his kit, which is what you generally want. Alright, so Kayn's first skill, the one you see Kayn players maxing first, is his Q. Reaping Slash, Kayn dashes forward, strikes nearby enemies. Both dash and strike deals physical damage. And you can see Darken mode deals a percentage of the target's maximum health instead, which is usually better than like the flat damage anyway, is to get the percentage base damage. So this ability has two components. You have an initial dash, and then you have like a spinning strike. Also, by the way, our Kayn player is wasting some time right now, just kind of running around. This is not what you want to do as a jungler. He's kind of wasting a lot of time figuring out where to go. Your time is super valuable as a jungler, so try not to do this if at all possible. I'm not claiming that any of us in this game are experts or anything. This is not like a professional player video, so keep that in mind. But yeah, hopefully we'll get a chance to see this soon. I think he's going to set up a gank for us, so watch. He's going to try to come through this wall here. This is probably not the greatest kind of gank because their lane has minion advantage, but we are behind quite badly. Jhin has a BF sword, Ezreal just has a tier, so poor Gallius is behind, so here he comes. Going to look to make use of one of those unusual ganking paths, so there's the dash in with the spinning slash, there's the W, which I'll talk more about in a minute, and we get some damage, but ultimately we're not able to do too much. We're just too far behind in this lane, and you can see with the state of this minion wave, we don't really want to be fighting while the enemy team has that big of a creep advantage down here in bot lane. So a little damage, but ultimately not that useful. Frankly, probably Kayn could have done more with his time right here. Anyway, but so, like I said, Q, kind of the main damaging skill. It has both a dash component and a kind of like a spinning slash component. So it's kind of two abilities in one, and it's your best way to get damage early on. So watch, we'll see it here. So there's the dash and there's the spinning slash component. So like I said, kind of does two things at once. Alright, so let's talk next about the W on Kayn. This is a much longer cooldown. The Q's cooldown is really short, 6 seconds. The W cooldown is much longer. This one is, let's see, Kayn deals physical damage and slows enemy champions. When he transforms into the Darken, he gets a knock-up. So this one, you'll see it's kind of a straight line skill shot. And you should see it in action here when our Kayn player goes to clear this camp. Alright, so there it is. Did you see when he put like that horizontal line? That was the Blade's Reach right there. So not as useful. Generally, Kayn players skill this second. It's kind of his only form of crowd control. Starts as a slow. If he transforms into Red Kayn, he gets a knock-up on it. And again, you generally want that knock-up, which is why you typically see people going Red Kayn over the Blue Kayn path. His E, Shadow Step, this is what lets him walk through walls. Kayn gains movement speed, the ability to walk through terrain. When he first enters terrain, he also is healed. The Shadow Assassin also gains additional movement speed, but again, pretty much no one goes Blue Kayn and gets that. So just keep that in mind. And by the way, there's the W again. You probably by now have seen enough Kayn footage to know when he's using his two primary stats. There's the Q again, as he dashes forward and then gets that spinning component afterwards. So Kayn, good mobility. Watch, we're going to see another one of these unusual gank paths here. So Camille is low, Camille is hiding under turret, so Kayn is going to run through the wall, dash in, and picks up a very easy kill with his Q, along with Teemo, who has shoved the tower and is really bullying around the Camille player. But again, remember, Camille is not even level 30, so you would not expect Camille to win this matchup. Our Teemo, I think, was like gold 3 or something, somewhere in gold breaking. And again, as you would expect against a player who's not even level 30, would be winning that matchup. Anyway, right here, Zac is going to gank Myth in mid lane. Gets off a nice pullback, although it actually pulls Myth out of the Cassiopeia ult. But it's still enough damage to finish off Lux, who is super squishy. And then cast Poison. Oh, cast Poison! Can he survive this 10? No, not enough. So they score a double kill, and they kind of seize control of the mid lane off of this. So their team was already winning in bot lane. You can see the farming stats are a little one-sided down there. It's, at this point, because I messed up the lane really early and fed an early death to Jhin, there's not a lot we can do. Look how low we are. Now we're going to have to back, because if we stay under this turret, they could probably kill us. So we're going to have to back. We're going to have to give up even more gold. Jin's going to get that much further away and ahead. And yeah, I mean, League of Legends is a snowball game, right? And you're seeing it in action here. As they get more plates, they get more farm, we lose more minions on the tower. So we are behind in mid, and we are also behind in bot lane. right there, nice flash by Teemo to get out of that. So he's going to get locked into the Camille ult, but he's continuing to poison Camille. Probably should be moving on those auto attacks, not just standing in place, but does go 1 for 1 in that gank. So that's pretty good given the situation, and is way ahead of Camille. So we're way ahead top, but we're losing, but we're way behind in bot, and we're losing in the mid lane as well, although not as badly. So meanwhile, while this was going on, Kayn makes a nice play. He saw that Zac was top, so the enemy jungler is not here. Put down a pink ward, so the enemy team has no vision, and he's going to go ahead and claim this first dragon. Even runs into the wall with his shadow step to gain additional health back. So this is quite safe, really. I mean, he knows that there's no vision on the enemy team. We know the enemy jungler's top lane. We have vision on their mid lane. We have vision on their bot lane. So there's really no one here to claim this, and just sneaks in, claims the first dragon, and we get that Cloud Drake. So I also want to use this video to talk a little bit more about what the dragons do. And I recently realized you can highlight it on the interface. So here we go. Dragon Slayer. Slaying dragons, or drakes as they're often called. I see people refer to them as both dragon and drake. Traditionally, just little side note, traditionally in Europe people would call it drake, and in North America people would call it dragon. I think Riot uses both, so whatever. But anyway, so Dragon Slayer, there are 4 different types: Infernal, Mountain, Cloud, and Ocean. You can see they all have different abilities. The Cloud Drake gives you extra movement speed, which is then tripled when out of combat. It's always a little difficult to quantify the advantage of those Cloud Drakes. It's kind of like offensive line play in American football. It's like kind of hard to measure it, but you just know that having the extra movement speed is inherently good. So you get a lot of movement speed when you're out of combat. You get, for the first one, you get 9% movement speed when out of combat, and you still get 3% movement speed even in combat. So it's always pretty useful to have. I think the Cloud Drakes are really nice. I always like having them. And so we get that one, which frankly we really should not have gotten in this game, because you can see they're winning right now. And they're particularly winning on the bottom side of the map. They're winning this bot lane, they're winning in mid. So really, we have no business getting this dragon, but Kayn makes a really nice read of the game state, goes in and claims that. And so now we'll have that in our back pocket for the next few minutes. Dragons respawn every 5 minutes. For most of League's history, they've respawned every 6 minutes, but right now they respawn every 5. So keep that in mind. There'll be another dragon up at around 15 minutes. So here comes Kayn again. He's going to look to engage. We are going to look to go in as well. I catch Soraka in the Sona ult, which is not good. I should have ulted the Jhin player, but we did catch them underneath our tower in an exposed position, and again, this is the value of Kayn. He can gank in really unusual ways. I had a pink in the Tribrush, or a Vision Ward. They're not called pink wards anymore, but that's what they used to be called. So he's able to go through the wall and come out behind them, and we score a double kill, which we desperately need because of how far behind we are. So another really nice play from our Kayn player down here in the bottom lane, and now he's clearing out another pink, so a better use of his time here. Meanwhile, Teemo's getting ganked in top lane, and let's see, is he gonna have enough poison damage to finish off Camille here? He looks like he does not, because Camille is running the rune that gives her health back on kill or assist. Something in precision, I don't know the exact name, so not gonna get that. Meanwhile, Kayn is using this time to steal some of Zac's jungle, so not a bad use of time. And even though we're behind, we've closed the gap a little bit. Now we're only 1,000 gold behind. Alright, I didn't get a chance to mention Kayn's ult, so let's talk about that. Umbral Trespass. Kayn infests an enemy champion. He is recently damaged, so you have to damage a champion with Kayn before you can use this. Becomes untargetable, reactivate to end this effect early. He literally jumps inside an enemy champ. It actually doesn't do that much damage, but it's a way for Kayn to kind of get some health back. Let's see, yeah, because, oh wait, no, he only gets health back once he transforms into Red Kayn, but everybody pretty much does that, so. It doesn't really, like I said, it doesn't really do that much damage. It's decent, not great, but the real advantage is the safety. You know, you can go into a team fight, use all your abilities, then you hop inside the enemy team for a couple seconds, and after that, you can reactivate. And then hop out. So it gives you a chance to cycle back through your cooldowns again. Meanwhile, Teemo getting ganked yet again. Boy, the Zac player really had it in for Teemo, so he picks up a kill right there. And then Zac's going to flash away, but Teemo, one more blinding shot's going to get the passive transform. I love this, the mushroom toss down on the reforming blobs, and that's going to be enough to claim it, and actually gets a shutdown in the process. So Teemo doing work up there in top lane. Carry us Panda Teemo in this game. And now our Kayn player goes back and starts stealing more of the enemy team's jungle. Unfortunately, things are not going well on the bottom side of the map. You can see I'm gonna get off a good Sona ult there. We actually force a flash from Jhin. I think he may have thought that there were more people coming. But we just lost our tower down there, so we've given up first tower blood. and that's going to score them extra money right there. So not going well there, but Teemo is able to get the return turret in top lane. So once again, we have some lanes winning, we have top winning, we have jungle, I think we have jungle winning as well. No, jungle's actually slightly behind, but reasonably close. But our bot lane is not doing well. As you see, I get blown up right there, and then Mythrodori has just disconnected, so he is not here. Yeah, that's why he's just standing there. Myth's connection was going in and out throughout this game. So yeah, he stands there, he gets blown up, and even worse, there's a dragon spawning in 30 seconds. This is an Infernal Dragon, the most valuable of the 4 types, by the way. So we really have no business getting this dragon whatsoever. We lost our mid laner, we lost our support, we have no control on the bottom side of the map. So really this dragon should just be free for the enemy team, and they should be preparing to take this. Or at least that's what should happen in this situation. Right now, they have the lane shoved in mid. They can shove out this lane in bot. They really should just go they really should have mid and bot run to this dragon. Infernal Drake has spawned and just take it. But for whatever reason, Zac is top side of the map, and he should not be here. This is the wrong part of the map for him to be on. There's no reason to be up here ganking Teemo. So instead, they're going to let this opportunity slip by, and now Kayn is going to take a really dangerous dragon here. He puts down the pink so they don't have vision. Like if I go to their team's vision right now, they have the Scuttle Crab, but they don't have any vision in the pit itself. So he's going to look to do this, and now Jhin and Soraka are going to come over. But by now it's too late, so Kayn is going to grab that, and then he shadow walks right through the wall, and he's out. And we've taken an Infernal Drake that we had absolutely no business claiming in this game. As Teemo, by the way, actually scores a 2v1 kill, so that was just disastrous for their team. Zac spent all that time top trying to gank Teemo. He didn't get a kill, and in fact, Teemo actually 2v1'd them up there and got a double kill. And poor Camille, who again is not level 30, is 0-6 right now in this game. So there's such a thing as just giving up on a lane. Like as a jungler, you want to try to help your lanes, but there does come a point at which a lane just falls too far behind, and you're really wasting your time by trying to help it any further. And I think that this top lane was already at that point. If I look at the gold totals for a second, yeah, I mean, Camille's 4,000 gold behind. She has half the gold of Teemo. So it's really not even worth it trying to gank this lane. Also, by the way, this is like the 2nd or 3rd time that we have not seen the Krugs camp taken in full. It's probably worth it to spend the extra 10 seconds just to claim the whole camp instead of just taking the initial 2 Krugs, because they are worth a lot of experience. They're actually worth more experience than gold. So usually it's worthwhile to do that. But anyway, back to the dragon thing. So we have now gotten the first 2 dragons. We have a Cloud Drake and an Infernal Drake. So if we highlight it again, Infernal Drake plus 10% attack damage and ability power. You can get it up to 3 times. It's up to 24% if you get it all 3 times. So that really does make a big difference. It's not even so much just having the plus 10%, it's that you're denying the enemy team the plus 10%. So, you know, that's like a 20% swing. We would be in so much worse shape in this game if they had the plus 10% on attack damage and ability power. But no, instead we have the plus 10% attack damage and ability power. So that's really, really significant, and it's helping us hold in this game, even though we're kind of losing on the scoreboard right now. It's 10-8 in kills, but they are ahead in global gold. And we just really don't have a lot of control right now anywhere on the bottom side of the map. We're doing okay on top because Teemo's way, way, way ahead. But, you know, you can see the poor Gallios is like, what, 60 minion kills behind in this bot lane, and the gold is similarly close. But we are going to get a break here. We catch the Zac player invading, and then right here, Kayn is going to get the knockup to interrupt Kayn, or interrupt Zac jumping out. And so then we just pile on the crowd control and get that. It's probably an unnecessary Sona ult there from me. I was worried he was going to flash out, so I just wanted to make sure he didn't flash out, and I thought it was worthwhile to use the summoner. So now, meanwhile, we're going to go through Cassiopeia. She has just burned her flash. Unfortunately, Gallios misses his ult. Gets off a nice stun there on Kayn. So I'm going to come forward, and then I fail to ignite. I finally get it off, but too late. I'm going to get tanked too many tower shots, and I die. And I really could have survived that. I just was too late in using Ignite for whatever reason, fumbled the hotkeys. And that turns into a 1-for-1 when it really should have just been a straight-up kill. Now, Gallios gets picked off by their Camille player, but Camille has come forward really aggressively, so we've got Kayn on the job. Myth is still there, and that's going to be a pick-off with the Lux E, the Lucent Singularity on Lux. But now Kayn is rooted by Jhin. He's going to flash, but it's too late. He gets finished off by a Jhin auto attack. So quite a bit of action there. I think in the end that was a extended 3-for-3, and Teemo is using this time to push top lane, but Teemo kind of failing that degree in map awareness because he continues to hit the tower even as the whole enemy team comes after him. He really should have been looking to back sooner. So he is going to get blown up. He's silenced by Soraka, and he's going to get killed by Jhin, and that's really unnecessary because he gives away a shutdown in the process. And I think he could have easily backed there and, you know, basically shove the minion wave into the tower and then back and get out with your life instead of giving away a killing spree in the process. So, not the greatest map awareness on his part, but in the end, he does help us out. He does get a lot of, he does get the shove on top. He does relieve pressure on the map. He does force 3 people on the team to go up there. But it would be better to do all those things and not die and give away a shutdown in the process. Okay, meanwhile, Kayn has now transformed into Red Kayn. This is officially the darkened version of Kayn, but everyone pretty much calls it Red Kayn. So I'm going to generally use that as well. So what has changed here? Well, the biggest change is really 2 things. Number 1, he now heals for lots and lots of spell damage, so that's very significant. It's one of the reasons why Red King can become, I wouldn't say tanky, but able to stick in a fight and soak damage because of the way he heals as he deals damage. So right there, Zach's going to engage on him. Zach pulls him back into the enemy team, and yeah, unfortunately, the Red King is not going to be enough if that happens. You're still going to die. But yeah, now I can't highlight his abilities because he's dead. But yeah, his passive means that he now heals off of spell abilities. And it looks, at this point we were worried that he was rage quitting because again, this is a random Kayn player. We didn't know this person, but fortunately he just had a temporary disconnect and would soon be back. Zach, by the way, playing super aggressive against Teemo, really seems to want to kill Teemo in this game. That infamous global taunt on the Teemo that we used to joke about, in effect here, but Teemo is going to manage to get out. And neither side's going to end up dying here. So anyway, back to Jungle Kayn for a second. He has reconnected, he has revived, so he'll be back in a second. But yeah, you can see heals for 40% of spell damage, Delta Champion. So one of the things that you see often on Kayn players is when they go the Red Kayn route, they actually pick up Spirit Visage because it both makes them tankier, gives them cooldown reduction, and it also increases the healing that they get back from this. So Q, not really that much different. Q now deals a flat physical damage plus a percentage of the target's maximum health, which is probably more in most cases from what I understand. And then the other thing that's nice about Red Kayn is this. The W now is a knockup. Knocks up enemies for 1 second, and also then slows. So this gives him some crowd control that he really needs. Meanwhile, Dragon's back up again. This is an Ocean Drake. So enemy team, alright, this time they've done it correctly. They've got 4 members of their team here, but no, Kayn walks in and smites it, and then runs out through the wall again. Kayn, he's a monster. He is just all over these dragons. So once again, a dragon that their team really should have gotten. And unfortunately, Myth disconnected again in mid and dies to Cassiopeia as a result. Very sad result there, so that's going to cost us this mid tower. Unfortunately, down here, we're going to see Teemo get picked on and blown up. But yeah, once again, to go back to the larger point, another dragon we had absolutely no business taking, but like I said, our Kayn player is a smite god, runs in, smites it out right from under their nose, runs back through the wall again. So Kayn, because of his ability to walk through walls, can be quite good at pulling off those kind of dragon steals and baron steal kind of plays. You have to be very careful of him, since he can always has the ability to do that, and do it quite safely too. So let's look at our dragon tracker again. Alright, so now we also have the Ocean Drake. Ocean Drake restores 6% of missing health and mana, if not damaged by a champion within 8 seconds. So anytime you're out of combat, you will regen health and mana very quickly. Starts at 6%, then goes up to 9 and 12% if you get multiple Ocean Drakes. This is another one that can be a little bit difficult to quantify, but is really nice in laning phase. It's actually not as good if you pick it up here at like past the 20-minute mark, but if you get like the first dragon as an Ocean Drake and you get it at like, I don't know, 6 minutes, 8 minutes or something, the extra mana regen and health regen that you get while you're laning is just super duper nice. It just makes it, like right now you can see Myth is it's a little hard to see, but like he's regenning his health and mana much faster right now because he's got that Ocean Drake. You can see it has kind of like a greenish blue swirling aura around us. We also have the little cloud effect when we're out of combat. Let me see if I can highlight. So like look on Gallius right now, he's got the little cloud effect, and you can see his movement speed's 414. As a result of having that Cloud Drake working in our favor. So all the dragons really good. I'll just mention the last one while I'm here. Mountain Drake, if I highlight this, bonus damage to epic monsters, that's Dragon and Baron, and also to towers as true damage. Starts at 16%, goes up to a max of 30%. So you can kill Dragon, you can kill Baron much, much, much faster. Also, by the way, look at that combo from Myth. Just absolutely blows up Jhin. And meanwhile, now we're going to see the Kayn ultimate. It actually puts Kayn in a really awkward position, but let's see if he can manage to get out of this. Soraka kind of ran back under tower, and no, unfortunately not going to be enough. The Camille player flashes, but he actually died to the poison on Cassiopeia. So yeah, Teemo hiding in the brush right there. And he's going to sneak back to top lane. So we end up going 1 for 1 there. Myth did get off his full combo, full Lux combo onto the Jhin player. And Jhin, you might notice, really does not have much of a magic resistance. He just has a null magic mantle. So he dies very quickly if he gets engaged on by Lux. Ultimately, 1 for 1. And yeah, this is a situation where the enemy team really should be looking to do something. Also right there, another left ult. Doesn't quite manage to kill anyone, but the harassment is nice, although I guess they have a Soraka to heal back some of that on their support side. So overall, their team is, they snowballed pretty far ahead in this game. They're 4,000 gold ahead. The one thing keeping us in this game right now really is these dragons. The Infernal Drake, us having the Infernal Drake instead of their team having the Infernal Drake, and then the movement from the Cloud, and then the health and mana regen from the Ocean Drake. So they really should be looking to take a global objective, though, with them being that far ahead. I think when Kayn was dead, they could have maybe tried to force a fight around Baron. Not necessarily take the Baron, but at least like pressure around it and make us try to, as you see Galio's almost get the kill on Soraka there. Like, maybe not necessarily do the Baron, but at least pressure around it, but instead they didn't. And by the way, Zac is going super deep right here. Not necessarily the safest thing for him to do, but yeah, he even flashes in. I guess he ultimately does get Galio's, so gonna pick that one up. Now Teemo is using his poison, and looks like that's gonna be it for right now. Or at least initially is. Myth's walking the safe path back. But no, now Jin's going to open up. We have Zac going in again. I actually get off a good Soda ult, but unfortunately, watch this. Yeah, Jin blows me up. And meanwhile, Kayn has now jumped into the Cassiopeia player. So this is really bad for us. Jin gets a double kill, but watch. Boom, right there. Myth actually ends up saving us as he finishes off Zac, who is in Bloblet form, and then gets off the Lux ult to finish off Cassiopeia. We were really in trouble because if he doesn't finish off Cassiopeia there, they have a really clean shot to go ahead and take Baron. Like, if they have Cassiopeia up, even without the Zac player, if it's 4 against 2 and they have Cassiopeia who's really good at doing Baron, it would be very difficult for us to stop that. But nope, Myth finishes off the Zac Bloblets, and then he gets a nice snipe on their Cassiopeia. And so, oh, and I missed this. Sorry, I gotta go back and watch this. Okay, this is really slick too. So, alright, watch right here. Teemo's gonna get some poison harass off on Camille, and Camille is gonna recall, but look, she is recalling on a ward right here, and Myth sees this. And so let's go ahead and slow it down, and there. Lux Laser for the win. That's why you want to be careful not to recall on a ward. So manages to pick that off. So Myth really carrying us here in this sequence. Picks up 3 kills. Like I said, got the kill on Zac, who is in Bloblet form. Got the kill on Cassiopeia. Gets the kill on Camille. And now guess what? There's a dragon respawning again. And we actually have a numbers advantage because Camille is dead. Granted, the Ocean Drake is not that valuable at this point in the game because we're pretty far out of laning phase. But hey, I mean, it always helps to have, always helps to have more dragons. Let me go back to normal vision. So we're going to slip in and we're going to look to take yet another dragon again. So they have their Zac coming. They have Cassiopeia coming. But we're here first. And we actually have a numbers edge because you can see Jin is in top lane. He's not here. So we're going to look to go ahead and take this. It's going to come down to a smite. And of course, Kayn wins again because he's a smite god. And now he's going to look to run at the wall. So once again, we've gotten yet another dragon. Teemo, by the way, coming in here. And so this is going to turn into a bigger fight. But remember, Jin is not here. So Myth picks off the kill on Cassiopeia, who is probably the strongest member of their team. And now this fight's going to look to continue. And another Lux Laser goes off. Doesn't quite get that. Teemo's going to get blown up. Now it's an extended fight, but we get Camille as well. We've gone 2 for 1 in this fight. And, I mean, we got the dragon too. So, really helping us. We're behind in gold. I still don't really understand how we're getting this many dragons. But we are, and they all keep stacking. And that's important to keep in mind for late game. So, Zac is going to look to jump on Myth, who's trying to take this blue buff. We probably should have stuck around and helped him here if he was going to go ahead and do this. So he does get the blue. He's going to get rooted by Jin though, and now he's desperately going to try to escape from this. Gets super duper low, but he's got the Lux shield flashing out. Now Kayn's going to look to jump in and try to kill this. I get picked off in an unrelated part of the map. So Kayn picks off that fight, and now right here, Myth is trying to kill Soraka, but no. Nope, Soraka, the power of the banana, too strong. Uses Redemption, picks that one off. So we ultimately go 1 for 2 in that fight. Teemo was kind of part of the last fight. So we go 1 for 2. Really should have been a 1 for 1, but I got picked off by Jin. I also should mention, I was playing really badly in this game. One of my worst Sona games in a very long time. You can see 157 is just awful for this game. And we've really let their bottom lane snowball out of control in this game. So it was not the greatest effort from myself or Gallios in this one. We fell behind early, and then we kept falling further behind. So don't think that I only put video up on me playing well. This was not a good game from me at all. And I'm kind of embarrassed at how many times Jin managed to kill me in this game. Anyway, so let's just talk briefly while we have a minute here. I will just highlight again. So now we've got the 9% of missing health and mana regen from that Ocean Drake. But let's just talk briefly about Kayn's build while we've got a minute here in between the action taking place. Kayn, in terms of skilling order, skill Q first, skill W second, 1 point in E, skill your ult while it's available. Pretty straightforward. About as simple as it can get in terms of how you skill him. Q first, W second, 1 point in E, skill your ultimate when it's up. Doesn't get simpler than that. Alright, in terms of building him, the first item that I see people building is Warrior Enchantment on the blue jungle item on the Stalker's Blade. Gives him attack damage, cooldown reduction, and more lifesteal. Also gives you that Chilling Smite, which seems to run on like 90% of junglers these days. Second item, Black Cleaver, seems to be quite popular on him. I've seen this, at least based on the Kayn builds I was looking up, researching for this video. Gives him more health, more attack damage, more cooldown reduction, and that cleave passive. With the extra movement speed. So all that is useful to have. Kayn is someone who tends to be built kind of assassin-y, and then you can see his third item he went for Spirit Massage, which increases his health, increases the amount of health he gets back when he's using the passive in red form for healing for that spell damage, and also increases the healing on the ultimate because Red Kayn heals when he uses his ult as well. So a useful item to get tankier and get more healing effects. Anyway, it looks like we're going to have a fight right here. You can see Zac is jumping in. Kayn has put himself in a really dangerous spot right here. Probably shouldn't have been that aggressive, but he does get the knockup right there. I'm actually going to hit the Sona ult onto Zac. And meanwhile, Teemo's pushing in top ult. We're going to continue to watch the fight right now. Goes after Zac and does get the kill with his flash, so pretty nice stuff on Treetop Raspberry, putting himself in dangerous position there, but he does get the kill. And meanwhile on top, as I said, Teemo did manage to get that kill on top tower. So we're going to take advantage of the time Teemo is buying us, and we're going to look to go after this top turret. So Teemo now, the enemy team is chasing after him, which, like I said, gives us a chance to get that tower in mid lane. So our nice play there. We go 1 for 0 in the fight. We get a tower in top lane, which Teemo picked up, and then we get a tower in mid as well. And now we're going to look to go after this bot tower as well, because you can see how many people Teemo's pulling up to top lane. Teemo, once again, maybe not the greatest map awareness, gets rooted by Jhin, and it looks like he's in all kinds of trouble. But Camille hits one Teemo mushroom. Camille hits a second Teemo mushroom. Camille up, poison, and she dies to that. So Teemo does in fact manage to get out of that, when I think a better collapse from their team really should have killed him. So that bought us enough time now to go down and get this bottom turret as well. So that's 3 towers and 2 kills in short order. And a game that was snowballing really rapidly in their favor is kind of closed the gap now. Now we're only 1,000 gold behind. We were like 5,000 gold behind at one point. But again, getting this global gold, continuing to take these towers. We're going to use the power chord slow on Cassiopeia and now walk out. And oh, by the way, there's another dragon up in 20 more seconds. And what's the type? It's another Infernal Drake. So we really want to make sure we can try to get this yet again, because we want to try to stop the enemy team from equalizing on the Infernal Drakes. It's a really important dragon, because if we get it, we get very far ahead. If they get it, they equalize. So we're going to look to initiate the fight. Unfortunately, the Lux Laser misses. Kayn over here, though, does get the Zac Bloblet form. I get the dance onto Jhin. Meanwhile, Teemo is just fighting the dragon. He should really be with us. But Kayn is soaking up so much damage. He's going to use his ult, get more health back. Look how much health he got back from doing that. Meanwhile, Teemo still just hitting the dragon. He should probably be fighting with us. And so we do not kill anyone on the team, but we've bought so much time that we actually do get the dragon. Now, I'm going to get killed there by Camille, but we do manage to get a kill onto Camille in turn. And so we got our dragon. Now we're looking to get out. Jin's going to open up. Let's see if Kayn can get away. Yes, just barely. And then watch this. Lux combo, and together with the Ezreal poke is going to be enough to get the kill on Zac. So, and now we have Teemo mushrooms doing work over here. They're actually going to have to use Summoner Heal, and now Teemo's going to get the kill on one. Then another Lux Laser gets the kill on Soraka, and somehow we managed to ace them and take the dragon. And I legitimately do not know how that happened. Just a crazy sequence there. I really think the big play was Kayn soaking up so much damage on the team when he was in there. He was just healing and healing and healing. He used his ult, and I think he got like half his health back when he ulted. So with them aced, we now have a free opportunity. We're going to shove mid. We are going to... I don't know what Kayn is doing. He really should be pushing, not taking Krugs right now. But we get a tower mid. We get a second tower mid. We're going to look to take this inhib, and now we can look to back. And hey, we're actually ahead in this game by 3,000 gold. And in addition to that, we also got the Infernal Dragon as well. So we now have 5 dragons. We've taken all 5 dragons in this game, which is just crazy. So hold on, let me go ahead and highlight one of our champs so you can see the dragon. So now we have 17% bonus attack damage and ability power. If I can highlight here, 17% bonus attack damage and ability power. So again, really crucial. It's not so much the plus 7% for us. It's denying the enemy team the plus 10%. So it could be plus 10% for both. Instead, it's plus 17% for us and nothing for them. Now right here we're going to see Kayn make a mistake. He goes in, and this is not a safe place to engage, and he just gets blown up by the whole enemy team. So, like I said, a pretty major mistake by him. And I really think the enemy team right here should have just looked to force a Baron fight. They killed our jungler. He's down for 40 seconds. We do not have a jungler. If they just run S5 the Baron, we're in really dangerous shape. Excuse me. This always happens when I'm streaming or casting a game that's like 30 plus minutes. The voice starts to get a little scratchy. But yeah, I think that they just should have run S5 to Dragon, and you know, even if they, or not Dragon, to Baron, and even if they don't do the Baron, at the very least they can try to force us into a fight around Baron. So they're like kind of hanging out around Baron, but they've never started it. And you know, we're not really too concerned because like we can see them in mid, and now Cassiopeia is backing, and they've been stepping on Teemo mushrooms, and like we've got another Teemo mushroom there, and they have not cleared this brush from the this word from the little what's this called? The little death brush it's often referred to there in the river. So, I mean, they had a chance there to make a play while our jungler was down for 45 seconds, and they don't take it. Like, and now Kayn's back up again, and we're back on the map, and we're ready to contest a Baron or any other objective that might be up. So, an opportunity wasted for their team right there, I'd have to say. If you want to look just briefly at the overall gold totals for right now, just while we've got a minute here, kind of in between action, both teams are kind of fighting for vision around Baron right now, or at least we're fighting for vision. They, I think, took this opportunity to shove out lanes in bot. But yeah, we're still way ahead in top. We're ahead in jungle. We're actually now ahead in mid as well. Myth has pulled ahead, and we're still far behind in bottom. Anyway, right here though, our Kayn player is going to go bot, and he's going to look to try to solo Camille, and he does pull that off. It's not really something he should have done, because if your jungler runs bot like that, the enemy team has a chance to just rush and try to do Baron. But he does get the kill, so I guess it was worth it there. He did lose his flash in the process though, and now he's going to try to run out over the wall. Fortunately, he has a Guardian Angel and is going to look to revive here, and Teemo's also here to help out, so it looks like Kayn is going to get out of this. So we're taking this time, we're saying let's shove top, and then let's look to go and do Baron, because if their team is going to send this many people to bot lane, we have an opportunity to take Baron if we could get Kayn to come join us. Remember, there's also an inhib down mid, so they're going to have to send people to deal with the super creep. So right here, we're pinging Baron, and I think we even typed in the chat, Kayn, get your butt out of bottom lane. Come here and do Baron. And one other thing, they had a ward on Baron, and it died like 2 seconds before we ran in here. So that also just is perfect timing for us. One of those things you can't control, but just works out beautifully. So I am running my sweeper. I'm checking to see if they have vision. They don't. But they don't because they lost vision on Baron just like a second before we got there. I dropped the word over the wall to make sure nobody's here. And even though we don't have our jungler, we just take Baron. And so now we've got Baron as well. So, wow, think about that. We somehow managed to then get Baron as well, even though they had control of mid for most of the game. But nope, they were never able to take a Baron. And that's really significant. So just to highlight Baron for a second, what does Baron do? I know I have people who are new to this game who aren't familiar with that. Baron gives you a faster recall, extra attack damage and ability power, and the big thing is your minions get much, much stronger. Anyone standing near, any minions you're standing near get buffed. So watch when I walk up to this wave. Look how they all get like this purple aura around them and then become much stronger. But in addition to that, it's even worse for the enemy team because there's an Elder Dragon about to spawn. So what does the Elder Dragon do here? I'm actually going to pause it for a second just to explain what the Elder Dragon does. Elder Dragon empowers your currently existing dragons. So you get 50% bonus effect on your existing dragons, and it also adds a burn effect based on how many dragons you've taken. I believe it's 30 flat damage plus 20 per dragon you've taken, and we've taken 5 dragons, so this is going to be a hugely powerful Elder Dragon if we can take this. So their team has to come fight for this. Again, Camille not on top of this. So we're going to look to go after this. It's going to turn into yet another smite fight between Kayn and between the Zac player, but who's got this? Our Kayn player's got this, of course. Obviously he's got that. So we take the Elder Dragon, and I mean, Zac really had no choice. He had to try to go for that. So we're going to claim that. Now we've got the Elder Dragon buff on us. We see Teemo's going to flash in, and he's going to look to kill the Camille, so he picks off that kill, and now we're going to look to shove the lanes, and I mean, at this point, there's very little that their team can do. I'm just going to highlight one of our team. Here's the Elder Dragon buff. I'm going to try to highlight it here. Oh, I can. True damage over 3 seconds, 30 plus 20 stacks. So I believe that's 130 damage for. I believe it's 130 true damage every time any of us auto attacks. And just look how fast these towers are melting as we continue to hit them. We've got that glowing aura on us, like that fiery aura on us. And like, there's nothing the enemy team can do. We have a 5-stack Elder Dragon. By the way, another with Sona ult, but Mithridori does not miss his ultimate on Jhin, so yet another terrible Sona play in a game full of them. So again, we are just carving through these towers like butter. There's the knockup on the Kayn W. Cassiopeia is going to die. We're going to take the next dragon, or the next turret right there, and at this point the game is over. We have stacked up too many dragons, stacked up the Baron, Zac falls, and at this point it's all over except for the screaming. As the last turret falls, the Nexus falls, and we wrap this one up with a 34-24 win. So this was a game that was really all about the power of those stacking dragons. I wanted to have a game like this to cast because I know some of my viewers haven't played much League or not as familiar with what the elemental dragons do, and this was just a perfect game to showcase this. Let me also highlight Mithridori here for a second. So again, Mark of the Elder Dragon empowers existing dragons by 50%. So with the double Infernal Drake and the 5-dragon in Elder Dragon, look how much damage he's doing. 841 ability power. His Q deals 250 plus 589. That's, what is he? Deals like 800 damage on his Q. He deals 750 damage on his E. And then his ult deals 1100 damage, and it's on a 30-second cooldown. So Myth just doing insane damage at the end of this, and ended up with a really sweet scoreline. Here's the gold totals if you want to see them just at the end of the game. We still never caught up to their Jhin player, who had a really good game, but ultimately it didn't matter. We were able to snowball this one, use the dragons to our advantage, and hey, our Kayn was like insanely aggressive, but maybe that's what we needed in this game. Him claiming all those dragons was just super clutch for our ability to win this game. Anyway, so once again, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I'm glad I had a chance to cast a longer game, an actual decent-sized length game instead of a 15-minute little bite-sized match. So hope you guys are enjoying the holidays, and see you soon. Until then, have a good one. Take care. See you again.